Alright, so I picked up an order of meat today, and I thought I'd film the general process of what I do when I go to pick up the dog's orders of meat. Generally I get about 3 months worth of food. Actually, I'm just gonna... Okay. So these are the empty thaw buckets that I have. This is what I put the bulk frozen cases of meat into to thaw, so that I can then break them up into individual daily meals for each dog. And especially since it's winter and it takes longer for things to thaw, even in the garage, I try to only have 1 case per container so that it doesn't take forever and ever for it to thaw enough for me to break up. But yeah, so those are the bins. So today I decided to go ahead and take the minivan to pick up the meat order. The truck is kind of nice to do that because it does have the truck bed that I can wash out easily, but this stuff basically doesn't thaw fast enough and it's not staying in the minivan long enough for it to really be an issue. But this is all of Dominic's food. This is 3 months worth of chicken backs and chicken necks. Alright, so everything's been put into the individual bins. Each of those blocks of meat are 40 pounds worth. So yeah, they'll sit in their individual bins and thaw for at least 48 hours in here before I start to do anything with them. This is the setup I have inside of the garage. I've got a standalone freezer, and then to the right of that is the refrigerator that I use as the quote-unquote thaw fridge. Over that is obviously another freezer that I can use as additional backup space if I need it. Inside, as you can see, Dominic is out, which is why I got meat for him. I have jugs of water to help in the meantime. They, what is it? A full freezer is a more efficient freezer, yada yada. Plus it acts as backup emergency water. This is the thaw fridge. The bin on the left is Miley's, the bin on the right is Dominic's. There's, you can see, there's 2 bags in there because it takes so long for everything to thaw before I can feed it to them. And then inside the house, in my regular fridge, there's another one of these types of bins that has what is getting fed out to them that day. And yeah, I guess in this freezer, more the water-filled jugs, I keep the organ meat. Alright, so now we're getting into the bagging of the meat. I had a little bit of an issue because it's been so cold outside. I had to bring some of the meat buckets inside to thaw because they were staying frozen. So here's the chicken backs. Mmm, so delicious. And the chicken necks. It'd be interesting if I find one that still has a head attached to it, because that happens. I've got my freezer bags all lined up ready to go. I've got my scale. I've got something to hold the bag while I put the food into it. I've got this bin that I use to fill up and then transport into the freezer and kind of do loads that way. Yeah, that's kind of the gist of it. Also, side note, if you've ever wondered what the difference is between a freezer bag and a storage bag, it's the fact that the storage bag will tear in the freezer. I found this out firsthand. There's the freezer. Dominic's portion is up top. That's the stuff that was just bagged. As you can see, Miley is starting to run out of food, so next month I'll be picking up her food. I actually like to keep their food pickups spaced out by about a month because it does take a while, especially in the winter, for stuff to thaw, get it bagged and into the freezer, and it makes for a pretty long stretch when I do both dogs at once. But yeah, so, and as you can see up there, I've got some of the tubs already stacked. The ones that have been cleaned and dried, and I just finished rinsing out the other tubs. So they're drying, and yeah, we're done for a little bit.